YouTube. I'm sitting in my car. It's snowing outside. It's cold as hell. Kind of just thinking. And I wanted to get these thoughts off my brain before I end up forgetting about them. Being really good at anything or mastering anything requires you to invest a whole lot of time into that thing. Obviously, everyone knows that. Anybody that's ever mastered anything had to spend a whole lot of time doing it. Duh, that's common sense. But a lot of times, we'll try working on something new, maybe developing a new skill, maybe starting a new business, maybe picking up a new hobby. And a lot of times we'll kind of just get upset when things aren't really going our way. Like we're not seeing the progress that we thought in our heads that we would see as we continue to invest time in it. But the progress that we thought we were going to see really doesn't matter. What really matters the most is that you just continue to put time into it. A lot of times we think that progress is supposed to be linear. Like you just, time is on this axis and skill is on this axis. And we think that progress is just linear like that. The more time, the more progress. That's not necessarily how anything works. You could put a whole lot of time into something and not really get any better at it. You could spend 4 years trying to learn how to do something very well and not see much progress, but out of nowhere, on like 4.5 years, your progress or your skill level just exponentially explodes up. You can work your ass off for 4 years and then in 1 month make more progress than you made in those past 4 years. Sometimes that's just how progress works. Gotta just keep on putting the time into it, man. And just because you're putting in the time and the effort and you're not really seeing any progress doesn't mean progress isn't happening either. Take the gym, for example. You might go into the gym and go bench, and you're not going to see your bench increasing on a daily basis. That's not going to happen for anybody, but your body is still adapting to the weight, the stress that you put it under. Your body is still tearing down the muscles and making them stronger. You might not see it. You might not feel it. You might not realize it. But, give it a month or two. Give it 3 months, 4 months. You'll be benching 245 when 2 months ago you were benching 225. And on a day-to-day basis, obviously, you weren't gaining like a pound a day, 5 pounds a day. But over time, the progress does happen. It's so easy for us to just discourage ourselves and tell us that, no, run that back. I misspoke. A lot of times it's really easy for us to kind of just discourage ourselves or talk ourselves out of continuing to do something because we believe we're not progressing the way that we should be progressing. But there's going to be ups and downs in everything you do. I'll give you guys another example. There's a game that I like to play called Rocket League. Some of y'all might know what Rocket League is. Some of y'all might not. But in Rocket League, my rank is Grand Champ 1. Now, Grand Champ 1 is a pretty good rank. I'm not like a professional at the game or whatever, but if you're a Grand Champion, you're like the top 2% of players. It's a very small percentage of players make it to the Grand Champion ranks. So I can say I'm pretty good at the game, right? But my progress to get to Grand Champion was never linear. If I had to graph it out, the graph would have looked something like straight, up, down, up, down, down, down. It's kind of like the stock market, right? No stock really just constantly goes up and up and up and up and up and just never comes back down. I mean, some do, but most don't. Most of them are more volatile. They'll come up sometimes, go down sometimes, come up sometimes, go down sometimes. The same way when I'm playing Rocket League, some days I'll hop on, get a really good win streak. My rank goes up like crazy. Move up 2, 3, 4 divisions in one day, right? But other days I'll hop on, go on a crazy losing streak, and I'll get knocked back down to champ instead of Grand Champion, right? knock down to Champ 3 or maybe even Champ 2 instead of GC1, the Grand Champion 1. That's really how it works. But eventually, it all evens out. Even though in the moment when I'm on a losing streak and I'm mad at the game, why do I keep losing? Why am I going backwards and not making any progress? Why am I staying the same? It all evens out, man, eventually. Eventually, I get my rank back as long as I just keep on putting in that time. But if I were to go on a losing streak and feel like I'm losing my progress and just say F the game and throw my controller and uninstall and stop playing it, well, then guess what? I'm not making any more progress at that point. Even if I'm on a losing streak, losing is still putting time in. Losing is still gaining the experience. Losing is still allowing me to learn so I can stop losing. Only a fool loses forever. If you have any kind of smarts in your brain, if you have even room temperature IQ, if you keep losing and losing, eventually you're going to find a way to stop that losing from happening. And then it's time for the comeback. But the only way you can possibly learn from the losses is by continuing to put the time in and not just giving up when you're not seeing progress, or not just giving up when you feel like you're heading in the wrong direction. You got to keep putting the time in. It takes time to master anything, man. It takes time to get good at anything. And realistically, whatever you're working at, you don't even have to master that shit, man. I know a lot of people think that they want to be the best or they want to be the top tier, like Rocket League, for example, right? The top rank is Supersonic Legend. If you reach a SSL Supersonic Legend level, you're damn near, like, you're a god at the game, bro. You're amazing. That's the highest rank in the game, right? Not everybody that plays the game is going to be a Supersonic Legend, you feel me? But you still got Grand Champions who are still going to beat 99% of the rest of the gaming population. You don't have to really be a master at whatever you're doing to see some kind of success in it. In any field. There's only one strongest weightlifter in the world. There's only one biggest YouTuber in the world. There's only one richest person in the world. But you can still be great even if you're not the absolute best at whatever you're doing. Just be the best you can be. That's all you really can do, bro. Keep on putting in that time. Keep on putting in that work. Might take a while. Some people, they get good at what they're doing in just a year. Some people get good in 5 years, 10 years. But if you're really determined to keep playing until you get to where you want to go, you'll keep putting that time in, man. And you'll get there. Eventually. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk, man. That's the end of the video. It's time for me to go back inside my crib and get warm, man. Y'all have a good rest of your day.